Much. Well, tomorrow is National Overdose Awareness Day, and joining us now to further discuss how we can decrease the stigma surrounding overdoses is Dr. Julie Hayden from the East County Transitional Living Center. Good morning, Doctor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
This obviously is something that I'm sure you're very passionate about, just the fact of, making sure that people are not only aware of the dangers that are out there, but also kind of destigmatizing what a family goes through when they have an overdose of a loved one.
Absolutely. So I think fentanyl changed everything. There's always been drug addiction. There's always been risk of overdose. Usually in the drugs like heroin, that's going to be more common, or even anti-anxiety medications, you can overdose. That's always a risk. But with fentanyl coming in, the potency is so high, it's so easy to overdose. And so it's just gone up over the years. Since 2020, it's skyrocketed. Our ERs with people that have overdosed has skyrocketed. So it's becoming a big problem, and we need to address it more than we are so far.
This conversation surrounding drug use, fentanyl specifically here in Southern California, and homelessness has been one that really kind of divides people philosophically on how to handle it. From what you've seen and what you've experienced over the years with the East County Transitional Living Center, what do you think is maybe perhaps missing from the conversation, or a point that you'd like to share?
Sure. It actually comes with stigma. It's really important when somebody's coming off drugs as potent as fentanyl that they have medical intervention. But also a lot of times when they're at that spot, they've burned all their resources. Their families are cutting them off financially. They lost insurance, so they end up on Medi-Cal. So if there's one thing we could do different, I think it's pushing to have more detox beds, more treatment for addiction that's Medi-Cal funded. And we're working on it, but that's would be a huge change if people knew where to go when they were ready for help.
Right. I think for a lot of people who've known someone that's in that area, it's that being ready for help part that's difficult to get them to. And usually, as mentioned, the family kind of has given up on that point, or at least cut them off financially, as you mentioned. How do we as a society help facilitate getting to that point, and are we offering the right services to help them reach that point?
I think for the masses, it's stay in connection, but with boundaries. People don't change unless everything falls apart around them. So putting up those boundaries are good, but you stay in communication and say, I love you. When you're ready, I'm right here. And when they're ready, you got to move fast. You got to get them help. And that's the hardest part. You might end up calling 211, but you might end up taking them to the ER and then go from there with finding services for them.
Do you offer any sort of advice for people who are still in that phase of trying to get someone help, but they're not ready?
Yeah, I just would say stay in connection and don't protect them from the natural consequences, because it has to get bad before they're going to be ready. So don't protect them from, paying their rent, making sure, they jump in and save them in that way. Let them kind of go down that road of falling apart, but just be there ready when they turn around and say, I want to get out of this lifestyle.
Are you surprised by the numbers that we're seeing?
Not because of fentanyl. I think I'm surprised since we first heard of it from a treatment standpoint in the DA coming in. It's easy to get, it's cheap, it's about 50 times stronger than heroin, and people die easily. And in the community, if somebody dies, it's a message that that's a really good drug and you should go try it and see how high you can get without dying. So this is a very dangerous drug that we've got to somehow get out of our streets.
Yeah. I think you had an event coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
At ECTLC, we have an event on September 21st, Recovery Happens, and it's all the stories of people that have many years under their belt, clean and sober, that it's absolutely possible. Anybody can get help and live a good life.
Right, and it's open to those who want to attend?
Yeah, absolutely. ECTLC.org. You can find us and register for it and come on down.
I think it would also be really helpful for family members who've kind of lost some hope there to see it's possible.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Appreciate the time this morning.
Thank you.
All right.